Hello, welcome everyone. Hola, bienvenidos a todos, and welcome to the 2021 Spring Cohort graduation. I thank all of you for coming. I understand you had a busy schedule, so thank you for making the time to come here today. Now, before we start, I would like to say some words. First, I want to say how grateful I am that I was able to participate in this program. Honestly, I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. When I was told by my sister about this program, I thought I was dreaming, and I thought she was also just fooling around with me like she always does. However, I went to the website and saw what they were offering, I was still kind of skeptical, but I was more interested and I applied. And overall, it was the greatest decision of my life because throughout the weeks I've been in dev mission, I'm more into tech than I would ever be. And I can't thank them enough for that. Honestly, after I graduated high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I thought I didn't possess any type of skill or ability to do anything. But when joining dev mission, it's showing that I have skills and abilities and opportunities that I myself didn't know of. For me, dev mission just didn't become a simple organization that gives opportunities. I mean, it is an organization that gives opportunity. But for me, it became like a family who is supportive, who is always checking on me, and who was there behind my back. Again, cannot thank them enough. Now, I think I said a lot of stuff there, and I think we should start this with the welcome remarks. And I'm going to introduce one who has the cutest cat ever, Susana Romero. Please, you can take the spotlight.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for being here with us on our special day today. Our Spring Cohort 2021 graduation. It's a very big deal for us. We are very pleased and able to welcome those of you that have been with us since the beginning of our journey and those of us who were not able to join us since the beginning but joined us later on. I want to say a big thank you to all of our founders and sponsors, because without you, the mission wouldn't be possible. I want to give a shout out to all of our family members and friends for being supportive with us, because without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to do it these past 12 weeks.
Thank you, Susanna. I like the speech that you gave. It was really inspirational and motivating. All right, let's take it to the other part, the other people are talking. There's gonna be the leadership remarks. And it's gonna be done by one of my best friends and Leo Sosa, and her partner is gonna be Deborah, one of the nicest persons I know. You guys can take this spotlight.
Thank you, Avila. My name is Leo Sosa. I'm the founder, executive director in Dev Mission organization. On behalf of our board of directors, our leadership team, but most importantly, the young people that are graduating tonight, I want to thank you for allowing this organization to continue to create the next generation of tech talent. And that's a big statement. Not only a big statement, but it's clearly needed during this time. When we started this organization 4 years ago with the team of technologies, we had the idea to really close the gap between diversion in the tech industry, but most importantly, expose young people ages 16, 24 to employment pathways and post-secondary education. Knowing that there is a lack of STEM subjects at the high school level, we decided to take action. And all 22 of you are here tonight as a statement. We started with 25, if I'm not mistaken, and we had close to plus 50 young people that applied to this program. It was a rigorous process. You all decided to join. And I am pretty sure during that time, you spoke to your loved ones and you say, mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, sibling, cousin, uncle, I want to try this out. And I still remember the first day of the orientation, how some of you were so nervous, how some of you still had your cameras off, how some of you didn't want to say anything during the introduction. But look at you now. You're ready to become a pipeline for the tech industry. The tech industry is hungry for you. You are the homegrown talent that was born and raised in San Francisco and the Bay Area. And I know some of you were not born or raised here, and that's okay. You come from families, from immigrants that brought that future for you. So tonight, it's a celebration. It's just a joyful time for you to enjoy it. Don't look back at the past 12 weeks. Look ahead of you. Your journey begins tomorrow morning as you wake up with a nice coffee, nice breakfast. Then you start thinking, all right, this is all I learned in the past 12 weeks. How can I take that to the next level? This organization will be here along the way as you decide to stay with us. We don't turn nobody away. You turn yourselves away. And that's okay if you do. We'll be here when you come back. But it's just a great joy to see everyone here tonight, the wonderful faces of all of you, looking all sharp, looking all spiffy, knowing that you're going to be taking the next jobs in the tech industry. From a junior developer to IT technician to UI, UX engineer, full stack developer, front end, back end, mobile app, IT director, you name it. The future is so bright for you, and I encourage you to continue to make that happen, because we know you're going to make that happen. For the high schoolers in the program, you're almost ready. Finish high school, pursue a CS degree. Think about internships this summer. You're going to be able to build your experience at a very early age. DevMission will provide all the necessary resources that you can get to continue to be empowered to choose that journey. So lastly, I want to thank all of our staff that made this happen for each one of you. As you can see, Suri Gonzalez is now with us. We just received a small emergency. Please reach out to her on Slack, give her and send her some kudos. She's doing okay. It's just someone within their family. But again, that's what this community is about, right? That's the reason why we use the tools that you have been able to learn to continue to support one another. So thank you for allowing me to say a few words. I'm so excited for your journey into the tech industry. And now I'm going to turn it over to our Deputy Director, Deborah Jaramillo. Deborah, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Leo, for that introduction. Abdiel, it is a great honor to be here with you all today. You all look very well dressed. You guys literally put on your Sunday best for graduation. I'm really proud to be sharing a few words with you today, and really just the amazing work that you all have done in the last 12 weeks. And as many of you know, I always like to start with a quote. And this one reads, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." And this is by Milton Brown, an American actor and comedian. Once again, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Congratulations, you have successfully passed this intensive 12-week pre-apprenticeship program, our largest cohort yet. I'm so proud to have gotten to know each of you personally, speaking to you all through your reviews, getting to know your personalities, getting to know your work ethic. You have all demonstrated dedication. You've all demonstrated hard work, ethic, improved your skill set, and most importantly, you were exposed to opportunities in the tech industry. And tonight, we would like to thank our funders, our sponsors, our partners, our staff, our communities, our family, and our friends for their support, especially throughout this pandemic. I cannot tell you how much it means to us here at DevMission that you have all continued to support our vision, and most importantly, supporting our young people. Our vision continues to be resilient, even through this new virtual world we're living in, because of the amazing support we have received from you all. Our graduates have made it this far because of people like you. A heart and a pursuit for a better future for our young people who are here today. To our graduates, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning of a great road ahead. You have all demonstrated, like I said, so many great attributes, and just, I see leaders in all of you. Through dedication, through some hard work, and building lasting connections, you're going to be able to build that door to success. I am beyond proud of graduating this class and getting to know each of you personally and professionally. You have all developed so in the last few weeks, and I can't wait to the continued success you're going to have. I know a lot of you are coming back for internships. A lot of you are going to post-secondary education. A lot of you are graduating from college or high school. So all in all, I'm very proud, and thank you for being part of DevMission. And once again, just like Abdiel said, we are family and we're here to support each other. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for those great talks. They were really good. I showed the great appreciation that you guys have for us. Now let's go to the spring program overview, and that's going to be done by Ivan, who is the DevMission lead instructor.
Thank you, Abdiel. So hi, everyone. Thank you. Again, my name is Ivan Hurtado. I'm the lead instructor at DevMission. So I want to thank the parents, family members that are here supporting their children, their youth, also sponsors and funders, and everyone involved with DevMission. Every cohort is unique. It's not fair to compare one cohort to another because they're all different. But the one thing that is the same is that always graduation is the day we look forward to the most, but it's also bittersweet, right? And because it's a little sad because this is the last time we're going to be together as a group, and that sad for me every time saying goodbye to the graduates. And I'm sure the graduates feel the same way. Just earlier today, as we're planning graduation, making sure everybody was ready, I got a message from one of the students saying, hey, what time is graduation again? I said 5. And he said, oh, well, it's kind of weird because, it just feels wrong that we're not connecting at 4 o'clock. And it's true. We've been here for 12 weeks connecting, and today was the first day in 12 weeks we haven't connected at 4 o'clock. And they're already feeling it. And so am I. I feel it every time that we have to say goodbye, because it's a great honor and privilege working with these immensely talented youth. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do moving forward. Now, for those of you who are not familiar what these youth have gone through these last 12 weeks, I want to give you a program overview. So our OST pre-apprenticeship program is 12 weeks. We meet Monday through Thursday from 4 to 7. And we have 4 different tracks that the students went through these last 12 weeks. So on Mondays, we do IoT. And to talk a little bit about what the students did in the IoT, we'd like to introduce one of the instructors who teaches our IoT class. Well, I'm gonna give him a couple of seconds because he had to walk. Well, there he goes. Now he's back. Okay, so I'd like to introduce David Ross.
I'm sorry, I've got a bit of a sore throat today, so I'm having to grab water so I can talk for a little bit here. But I do want to talk about the unique circumstances that got us to where we are at this graduation. First of all, I want to thank all of you for just signing up for this class. This is hard. This is a lot of work. We throw a ton of information at you very quickly. It's very hard to graduate the class, and I'm very proud of you for doing this. I also want to thank Leo. Leo provided me the opportunity to do some teaching to fulfill my debt to my mentors, to my teachers. Ivan provided all the classwork, the framework, all the participation, getting all the students signed up, all the knowledge, the paperwork. He's really been driving this class through. This allows me the opportunity to just become the teacher and have fun and teach. And I'm enjoying this. I also want to acknowledge that the students put in a lot of work. This is 3 hours a night, every night. And there's homework on top of that. And there's learning on top of that. So this is just not easy thing to do. I congratulate you, and I'm impressed by your skills. Thank you. Looking into the future, I want to see you making the accomplishments. I want to see you making the news. I want to see all of the students becoming big, successful people and having careers. This tech thing is big. It is the future. You have a good foothold into this future. Do not squander this opportunity. I told my daughters, I have 2 daughters, they're all about your age. One just graduated college, one is still in college. And I told them up front, I said, I don't care what you do for a career. What I do care about is that you become the best at it. You are the expert. Everyone else comes to you for your opinion. So what I want you to do, I want you to keep learning. As you keep learning new things, I want you to teach others to prove that you've learned it. And as I fulfill my debt to my mentors that taught me, I also challenge you, teach someone else, become someone's mentor, become the expert. Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you, David. And we really want to appreciate you and shout you out, David, because David Ross, along with Brian Siebold, they've been volunteering to teach the IoT class since 2017. And they're a pillar, you know, a part of Dev Mission. Without them, there wouldn't be the success that it is today. So thank you as well, David. And Dexter has also been here. And we also had, the students want to thank the volunteers a little. The Google IoT team is David, Brian, Dexter Reed, and then we also had a volunteer, Michael Gonzalez, who also was part of our Monday IoT. So thank them as well for Mondays. Okay, now we want to talk a little bit about the Intro to Programming class. And for that, we want to introduce our programming instructor, Lucy.
Hi, so yeah, I'm Lucy, and I teach the Intro to Programming course, and I have a few remarks to say, and I'm probably going to go on a little long, which is something that all of the students are very familiar with. But for folks who don't know, I joined Dev Mission as a teaching assistant during the fall cohort this last year. And it was the second cohort that had been taught online, and Ivan was the programming instructor. But Leo and Ivan put their faith in me, and they asked me to instruct the class. And over the course of this year, I have learned so much just from my time helping students in writing curriculum. About breaking down the why of coding and connecting lessons to real life, because as someone who was a student just last year, I've had a lot of lessons that feel disconnected. About stopping to ask more questions of students and how to actually create a breakout room. But more than that, in the fall, I was just starting at a new software engineering job myself, and teaching the Intro to Programming class this year has filled in so many gaps in the foundation of my own knowledge of JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. Every week, I would find myself coming from class and going to work and applying something from a lecture. I started programming through a non-traditional path, like a lot of folks who are in this cohort. I was 11 and I loved video games, and my favorite one, which was Skyrim for people who are curious, allowed you to write code for the game. And I fell in love, and I read tutorials and wikis, and I watched every video I could find. And it was just so exciting to be able to see the bones of something that I loved and be able to change them. But as I got older, I was worried that because I was self-taught and I didn't learn from a traditional school track, I wasn't as qualified as peers of mine or as other people looking at jobs and internships. And like I'm guessing for most of us, every time I applied to an internship or a class or an opportunity, I struggled with serious imposter syndrome. I would read the description for a posting and I would convince myself that I could not do it. And it was only with the encouragement or tough love from friends and family, and usually my mom, that I would apply. So because of those pushes and that kind of support, I'm working as a software engineer at a place that I really love right now. But I want to be really clear for everyone who has been in my class that I have sent dozens of cover letters, so many cover letters. I have received so many rejections and sometimes just no response at all. So particularly when it comes to the tech industry, it can feel like if you don't look like other people in tech jobs because of your gender or your sexuality or your race, educational background, whatever it may be, it's really easy to take those rejections as a sign that you aren't qualified enough. But that's just not true. It is just as much about merit, which every student, as it is about the ability to grow and ask questions and literally just Google things when you're not sure what to do. I say it over and over, but when you are not sure what to do, you are not alone at all. Look it up, ask for help, please. But everybody here kind of knows that. Everyone is always incredibly engaged. All students have showed up every Wednesday to learn JavaScript and HTML and CSS. You've come to learn and teach each other and me. And like was just mentioned, through incredibly hard circumstances of lost internet and COVID and digital class and terrible weather and whatever it may be. So I just want to thank all of the students so much for creating such incredible web apps and projects, which we'll talk more about and see later today. But I cannot express how much it means to me that all of you invested and engaged so much across the board in class. Because my gap year is ending, I'm not going to be able to instruct for this summer's cohort, but I am just really incredibly glad that you all gave me the privilege of teaching you. And everyone has the ability to move on from here and do something that excites you in the tech industry. So please, everybody keep in touch. And thank you, Leo, Ivan, and all of the students from the bottom of my heart for sharing the last 12 weeks with me.
No, thank you, Lucy, as well. We understand you're on your journey, but just know that you definitely made an impact in your time that you were at Dev Mission. And thanks to your work and what you're leaving behind, students will be positively impacted as well. So thank you very much for your time and your effort and for helping with the curriculum in our intro to programming class in your last 12 weeks of instructing. And you will be missed, but that is for sure. Okay, thank you. I'd like to send it back now to our MC, Avila.
Okay, honestly, I love the speeches that y'all three give. Lucy, you will be missed, as Ivan said. Ivan, it was great with you, how you were saying how the things that were being taught. And David, thank you, because you were a great help for me as well when it came to LSA. So now let's actually go to the other part, which is the keynote speaker. And this is gonna be done by Sir.
Leo, do I get started, or do you want to?
Go for it. Take it away.
Okay. Hey, firstly, thank you so much for having me. Just hearing you guys talk for the first 27 minutes describing this program has been quite phenomenal. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Shri Srinivasan. I'm the Chief Product and Engineering Officer at Zora. I'll talk about what Zora is, but firstly, congratulations to each one of you in this cohort of Dev Mission. Welcome to the world of technology. You're one of these folks who want to make it big. Believe in yourself. You're going to create doors, or doors are going to come to you. You remember that. It's very important for you to have faith in your skills, take confidence from everything you've learned. And I'll share a little bit about my journey and how I've learned along the way. I've been in the tech industry for over 28 years. Slightly older than, longer than most of you have been on Mother Earth. And I can tell you the education I had in tech is not relevant today. The only thing that has kept me relevant throughout is the fact that I have sought learning every single day. Curiosity, the curiosity you used to get on the class at 4 o'clock every single day and say, I'm going to learn, whatever the adversity, I'm going to do my homework is such an important trait in the technology industry. Technology industry is all about applying common sense, all about seeking knowledge. It's about breaking glass. It's about making sure there are no barriers to what you can do. You all can do great things. Now, I'll tell you a little story. My journey to Zora came through many companies, a company called PeopleSoft in the Bay Area, where I worked, followed by a company called Microsoft, which many of you know about. And then I was at Cisco for 3 years, and then I'm here at Zora. I've been at Zora for about 6 months. I'll tell you a story. The highlight of my career happened at Microsoft. I got a mail from none other than Bill Gates saying, "Hey, I want to have a one-on-one." I used to lead one of the businesses, and just think of the type of experience. The first thing I was reminded of was my background, my roots. I grew up in India, small town, lower middle class family, had to work for where I was. I hadn't seen a computer till the age of 19. And here I was in front of Bill Gates on a one-on-one setting. I met him about 3 times. The first time, I think one of you said it really well. Lucy, you talked about imposter syndrome. I had a hard time even getting myself to get there. Just think about it, right? You know, you would have achieved a lot, you know a lot, but getting in front of the man in tech is extremely hard. I was able to do it. I know you can. I met him two more times after that, and I had many an argument. It's okay, right? You all can achieve a level of success that none of us can dream of. You got computer grounding and understanding well before I had in my life. So make the most of that opportunity. Take the time to understand what you can do, because you're well ahead of so many others out there. Seek out more knowledge, understand and pay it forward by giving back to their mission and so many others. I think it's very important for you to do that because it's all about paying it forward and expanding the community. The tech industry grows by being more inclusive, by bringing more people into the fold. That's how the tech industry grows. So it's upon each one of us, myself, yourself, to make sure we expand the influence of tech positively. And you do that, you learn by making sure you persevere. You don't take no for an answer. You're going to get more rejections than acceptances. That's part of life. Lucy talked about, I can tell you that's my story too. But I have this badger spirit in me. I will not take no for an answer. And I think you all have to understand that you know what you're doing. You spend 12 weeks through what sounds like tech boot camp, what sounds like quite a hard set of work that you guys have done. You know, you've got a day life, you spend 4 work. That's a lot. Take advantage of it. Make the most of it. Don't forget what you've learned. Keep expanding that skill, and doors will come to you. If not, I think as Deborah said, build your own door. The tech industry is there for you. So I'm going to leave you with a few points of view on Zora. What do we do at Zora? We enable the new digital economy, the subscription economy. If you were to sign up for a Netflix or an HBO Max or any other service out there, for all practical purposes, it's a Zora backend. So we are the technology that enables subscription services. So we reach out to all customers. Actually, this Zoom service behind the scenes is running Zora. This is a tech that enables a modern way of doing things. If you look at who we are about journey to usership and shedding, ownership. So you don't have to buy products. You now are engaging with experiences and value through the power of subscriptions. You only take on what you need, and subscriptions basically enable more people to reach out to experiences than ever before. So that's who we are. Zora is the journey to usership company, and we obviously do a lot of tech. I heard people talk about full stack engineers, back end, front end company. I hope you consider to come and exercise your tech whims and fancies, because that's what it is about. It's about creativity. It's about passion. It's about perseverance. So on that happy note, congratulations to each one of you. Bring your best foot forward. Bring your positive energy into the tech industry, and the tech industry beckons you. Thank you so much.
No, but yeah, thank you for that great speech that you gave. It shows us that we should never give up and continue moving forward. All right, so now let's go to the next part. Will be our class speaker, and that's going to be Gabriel Pena. You can take the spotlight.
Thank you, Abdiel. And now I have to follow that. I'll try my best. Okay. Hello, everybody. Again, thank you for being here. I'm honored to have been chosen to speak as the class speaker for the spring cohort of 2021. It's been a wonderful ride being able to meet so many great people through this cohort. I feel like it was just yesterday, when we were just getting started and I was getting scared of the 3-hour class sessions, because like that's more than my college classes. I was like, man, that's crazy. When am I gonna find time to take a nap? I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna just change my schedule. I was getting cold feet, but I'm glad I stuck with it, and now that we're here at the end, I think I could speak for everybody in the cohort and say that, we're grateful, glad to have been part of Dev Mission, in IoT, being able to program Arduinos, with different attachments. It was very interesting, and it gave me personally a new side of programming that you don't get in class, because to be honest, most of the projects you work in school are pretty boring, quite honest, you know. And in IT essentials, it was a very interesting topic, getting down with the hardware, because I thought I knew some things, but I still learned plenty, like a CMOS battery. I didn't know what that was. Now I do. I'm glad I do. They're pretty important, pretty crazy. And in web development, it was great. We were able to put a bit of ourselves, our creativity into our own web projects. I personally learned I suck at styling. I don't think I'll ever get better. Bootstrap can't save me. I learned that, but it is what it is. In critical career skills, we're able to learn things for the real world, put it into practice, like how if you're in a plane crash, a compass is 11th in importance. I thought it'd be top 5, but I'm wrong. You learn new things every day, I guess. So I'd like to thank the funders and sponsors for making Dev Mission and all its opportunities possible. Really appreciate it. Yeah. I'd also like to thank all the companies who came and taught us. You really gave us a great insight as to what the tech industry looks like. And finally, to the staff and volunteers at Dev Mission, Brian, Dexter, David, Michael, Ivan, Lucy, Jesus, Yuritsa, Yennefer, Zuri, Deborah, Leo, anybody I may have missed, I'd like to give a big thank you for me and the spring of 2021 cohort. You guys took the time out of your days to come help us teach and get ready for the tech industry. And I hope we make you all proud, especially you, Leo, since you mentioned how this might be your last cohort. I hope we live up to your expectations and we can be the next generation of tech talent. Thank you for your time.
Wow, Gabriel, that was really great. And you're right. I put the compass up top 3, so now we know that it's the top 11. Now let's actually go to the project showcase, and that's going to be done by Lucy. So go for it, Lucy.
I just want to say, Gabriel, thank you so much for all of your excitement about the projects and all of the pieces of each of the classes. I know in particular for me, since this was my first time really teaching a course, I'd seen everyone's in progress work on their final web apps and the projects that we incorporate. But when we actually had presentations of the final web apps last week, I was so excited when I saw people presenting theirs and just how good they looked and how invested and engaged everyone had been. So today, we're going to get a chance to also have some of those shared with y'all. So of the projects that the cohort has done, different students are going to be sharing either their IoT project or their final web app, or both. So I will leave it to each student to talk a little bit about what they've done. But in the meantime, we're going to start off with Avila, and then Ahmed is going to be on deck. So go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, let's actually get this started. So a little bit backstory about the whole entire website that I created. I created a, what's it called? It's called an Internship Search. And the reason why I did this is because since we're leaving the mission, I was like, we need internships, and I kind of need to look for one. So I was like, I can actually create a web page about that. And I'm gonna share my screen if that is all right with everyone, and share my screen and show how it looks like and what I did to it. So this is the webpage that I did. And as you see, there's a summary there, how it works. And there's my LinkedIn, my email, and then my resume. And when you click on the results, the thing that it does, it gets a thing from Airtable and API, and it gets all information that I wrote down there, and it puts that it puts it in the website. So you see there, you're gonna see internship opportunity for students, and those are interested that anyone can apply to. You can, if you're 18 or older. And I think I mainly use this just for my own game, but again, everyone can use this. And that was the project I created.
All right, so I guess it's my turn to share my project. Give me 1 second, let me share my screen. Can you guys see it? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. So the thing I made is called Connections. So it's basically like the idea was maybe like if you get hired at a new company or something, or maybe there's a new group you'd like to meet, they can go to this website, they can fill out a form, and you learn about the contact information about each of the people, and you can click and search through the directory of all the users in this app, and you can just get their phone number, their name, and like some of their interests. So I can do a quick demo for you guys. So it's like you click let's go, you type in your name. I'll just put my name, Ahmed Sif, email address, and a little something about you. So I'll just type something random, right? Because can't think of anything on the spot. Then you put submit info. It says valid email address. Give me a second here. Okay, so once the info is submitted, we come to this page, right? It's all the people that have submitted info in the past and their profile. So this is the one I just made. I am able to view my profile. It'll tell you the date they joined, the person's name, if you would like to get into contact with them, and some of their interest or whatever they have. And that's basically my final web app. And yeah, thank you for letting me share.
Thank you both so much. So just after that, it's going to be Alexandria and then Chimeria.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. So my motivation for my project was that I really want a dog. And so I thought it'd be cool to just create a website where you can quickly see nearby animal shelters. So you can kind of see different shelters here. It shows your the zip code, a brief description of the shelter, and also the animals available. And there's also an icon that can show there's some exotic animals. So this shelter has rabbits, guinea pigs, and like reptiles, versus this one, Give Me Shelter Cat Rescue. It kind of only has cats, and you can click on the bottom and go straight to their web page and see more information.
Thank you. It looks great. So it's going to be Chimeria up next, and then Cynthia.
My website is like a jukebox thing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sometimes the mic doesn't work. Okay. So it's a jukebox type thing. You click the middle thing, you get a random album song. You click it, it breaks. Okay, and you get details about the song. You can get a list of all the songs I like personally. I've added to like the jukebox. And then you could submit your own songs at your own risk, because I may or may not add it depending on whether it's good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's going to be Cynthia up next, and then Ellen.
Hello, so this is my webpage. It was inspired by my love of cooking and spring, because we're the spring cohort. So how this works is, for example, if in the fridge I have some leftover kimchi that I need to use, I can search it up, pops a recipe. I can look at the details and get a short description, ingredients, and if I actually want to make it and want to learn more, I can click on the full recipe and it goes to the blog post.
Awesome. Thank you. I know a lot of people have been saying that they don't feel like their styling is great, but I just want to say that those sites look beautiful. So it's going to be Ellen and then Fert.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Basically, my webpage is Programs for Youth, so it compiles a lot of various different programs within the Bay Area, which is free for youth and young young adults to kind of expose them to new things like such as social awareness, leadership skills, and like STEM field and tech. So yeah, this is it. And then you could also like, this is the homepage, and then you can also add your name and enter your email and then submit to sign up for newsletters. And then if you press programs, these are all the descriptions. And then if you click on the website, the name of the program, it goes to the website. So yeah, and this web page was, I made this web page because there's a lot of different programs out there that youth can learn and do, and just kind of like meet new people. So I think that was my idea.
Thank you. Up next, we have Ferds and then Febe.
Can you hear me? All right, so the website that I made is a carpooling website where people can connect with each other to make a carpool from their house to their work. So how it works is first you have to log in or sign up. So I'm going to sign up just for an example. Let's go. And it should redirect to the login page after signing up. And by the way, there's also checks there that if a username exists or not, they'll give an error. So it was sample 1, 2, wait, 1, 2, 3. Right. And here when you click look for carpools, it should display all the records that I stored in Airtable. And if you click on one, it should give you the ones that are already in there. And let me just type in something random. And it should post it there. And you could also search something specific, like say LinkedIn, and it should show up here too. If not, it's just gonna show whether it matches the residence or the workplace. And you could also create one, and here, let me just create an example, and it'll create a new one over here, which you can also post to. And that's it.
That looks great. There are so many different features, so thank you for sharing. Febe and then Gabriel.
So this is my website. I made it. It's called the Secret Bay. And this is a picture of a location in SF. I made it because there's a lot of places that one can't visit because it's already overcrowded by tourists who visits from other places. So I made this so for the purpose of people visiting other places that not a lot of people knows about, like locally. Here in the news, someone can subscribe to their newsletter, and submitting it, it goes directly to the Airtable records, and there's no news yet. So here's the explanation of what's the purpose of this website. Locations. Here is San Francisco, San Mateo, and Pacifica. I can click San Francisco. And here are all the places that you can visit that is not overcrowded with people. Glen Park, Canyon, Stern Grove, and John McLaren. Another one is San Mateo is San Andreas Trail, Sawyer Camp Trail, the Japanese Garden. Mostly these are locations that you can hike, but soon enough, I want to add more places. These are from Pacifica. And then when you click at this link, it goes directly to the map where you could there's the address. And Yeah, that is all I have for now, but I'll probably want to add more into it soon enough. And it's going to be filled with more other locations.
Thank you very much, and I promise to keep them secret. Gabrielle, and then Jack.
All right, so I'm gonna be showing my IoT project. All right, here it is. So I basically made a game because I got into the computer science field because I really like games. I want to know how they tick. So I made my own kind of turn-based game where, as you can see, user one chooses. So click one on the IO remote, it'll choose what they want to do. If I choose two for user two, it'll up their attack. So you can also see on the left, there's the green light on the 24 lights NeoPixel. So every time 10 health is lost, you'll lose a dot on the health. And you'll see at the end when you lose all your health, what happens. But you see, so the default is 10 damage if you do not up anything. I'll keep on using attack for user one just so he loses, you know, gotta speed it up. I'll up attack again for user two just so that he starts destroying user one. But as you can see, he has ×4 attack. So how that's supposed to work is that the multiplier is an integer. It starts at 1. And every time you up attack, you have a chance of adding 1. You all have a 15% chance of adding 2. So he's at ×4. There's a point when he got really lucky and he added 2 to his multiplier. And that usually never happens to user 2. For some reason, user 1 has the best luck. But it's user 2's day today. Oh, player 2 missed. I forgot to think. Player 2 has terrible luck, misses. Anyways, but it was really complicated. Oh my god, player 2 missed again. Okay, so the game was really complicated when I really thought of it. I was just like, oh, I just need to keep track of certain numbers. It's not going to be that hard, but you know, once I started working on it, I'm like, man, I got to really take into account. I need to take into account a lot of numbers here. And luckily I kept track of most of it. There's a lot of bugs. There was a point when upping the player 1's attack, up player 2's attack. There's just so many things going on. But you know, I really enjoyed it. It was a very fun experience. You know, I downloaded a game engine and you know, it blew my mind because there's so many tools and things. I'm like, I don't know where to start. And here it was kind of a simple way to kind of get a feel for the games. And as you can see, he loses, his light turns red, and player 2 wins. Yeah, and then it'll restart after a time. There it is. That's my game.
That was amazing. Thank you for sharing. And we have Jack and then Jeremiah.
Hi, can people hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear? All right. So this was my project that I created. So the way that it works is that the alarm is set here, and if you turn it all the way up, the alarm starts turning on. Then if you slide it all the way back towards the other side, then it should pass the whole day. But just let the thing just play. And then after that, you can just turn it, and then it should not change the Tuesday down here. If you want to change the alarm itself, you can press I don't know why it's not working. And then you can. So this one changes the day that the alarm is set for. This one changes the minute that the alarm is set for, and finally, this one changes the hour that the alarm is set for. So if I want this to be set at like, I don't know, like at like almost 8 at Sunday, I can do that, and then it'll be saved.
Thank you, Jack. All right, next up, we have Jeremiah and then Judy.
Hello, everybody. This is my web application. It's a floral art design studio. A little bit behind why I chose to do a flower studio is because my girlfriend and I, we are fortunate enough to be able to find a brick and mortar building, and we were able to open up our own business on Valencia Street. And so my idea was to create something other than using Shopify, because Shopify has caused us a lot of problems. But all the work that you see here is real work, and the idea is to use this as like an event page and to get people's business. And so we would want, you know, if you have a special event that you're trying to do, we have this form that you can fill out and tell us all what you're looking for. And then it'll submit it to our database and we'll get in touch with you. Yeah, that's my application. I'll scroll down all the designs just so you guys can see them all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for sharing. Next up, we have Judy and then Kay.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So hi, I'm Judy, and for my final web app project, I worked on developing a website to consolidate resources related to COVID-19. And I wanted to work on this project because some people may be experiencing like difficulties during this time, like in the pandemic, due to like unfortunate circumstances, or maybe like due to a widening gap of like disparities in opportunities and resources, depending on like what people have access to. So it's important to come together in solidarity. And now I can kind of like walk through a demo of the website. So this is the page where people first land on. And depending if you need access to resources, you can click find resources here. Or if you're someone who has an organization or resources to recommend, you would go to provide help. And then just like scrolling down the page, here are some popular resources. And here are just like some options right here. And then there's also a search feature where you can filter. So if you were looking for a job, you can like type in work. Or if you're a business, you can type in business and find resources related to that. Some other pages I have here is a resources page. Here is just like a high-level overview of like the effects of COVID-19, and then a description of where to like get help. So maybe going back to like the main landing page to filter through the resources or additional government relief programs here. And then the other page I have is the Help Others page. And here you can provide like any recommendations that you know of. And you would do that by filling out this form right here, providing the name of the resource, the organization's like logo, putting in the location information, a description, and then selecting a category that it would fall under. And then lastly, linking the website and then submitting it. And that's it for my demo. Thank you.
Such a great site. Thank you for sharing. Next up, we have Kay and then Kimon.
I don't think Kay's in the meeting.
Kay's been having internet issues, Lucy, and she's been getting kicked off, so she might not be on.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so in that case, let's move on to Kimon for now, and then after that, we can go to Mehul.
Hi, my service is called Succulent Success. It organizes different distributors, prices, and species of succulents based on what the person's looking for and the certain environment it needs. I chose this site because succulents have grown in popularity over the years, and the desire for different houseplants also grew. So with this, since a lot of distributors online can sometimes be overpriced, it organizes a bunch of different ones by price. And some of the benefits of succulents are houseplants in general can help people alleviate stress and overall liven up an area. So this is the homepage and has some tips and tricks on what to do for succulents and how some of them need less water than others, and how most of them need some type of direct sunlight. And on the search area, it has a catalog of different succulents, and you could search them by the species. And going further, the categories and also more succulent distributors.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Mehul, and then we have Nia.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Hi everyone. A little bit of the backstory to my web app. So I currently attend community college. I am transferring for next fall, but I lead a mentorship, peer-to-peer mentorship program at De Anza College, located in the Southern Bay. And we are up and coming, and our main purpose is essentially catering to each individual's unique experience and why they're going to community college, and providing them the resources to be successful through community college. Here we have our little main area. This is like our little blurb. We were created in COVID-19, and we've been very successful throughout. And we have our YouTube channel, our little transfer panels that we hold and events that we have for our students, and our webpage that's located on our community college's website, and then an option to even email us if you have any questions. And then here we have the programs at the community college, and you can even search them, or if you have a particular need for an example, Umoja, which is a very popular program at our school. It has the name, the link where you can visit at our community college's webpage, and then the description, and then you can just go home. But I plan on adding more. This is what I have for now. But thank
That is such a great program and site. Next up, we have Nia and then Patrick. Nia, is your internet working? If not, no worries, we can move on and then circle back if possible. Okay, I think for now we will keep moving, and then I'll check back in at the end to see if any folks are able to join in. Patrick and then Sad.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hope you've had a nice day. Let me share my screen real quick. So can you guys see my screen okay? Okay, cool. Well, what I basically made was a PIR Arduino, a passive infrared Arduino. In other words, a sensor, a motion sensor. I'm into security and that kind of thing. So I thought a motion sensor was pretty cool, well, to me at least. I've always liked messing with them at stores, you know, when you walk in. Anyways, I made a sensor designed so that it would make an unpleasant noise when motion is detected. And it goes a little something like this.
Awesome. Thank you. I also love the sound effect. Next up, we have Saad and then Storm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna share my screen. All right, so this is my web app. Hold on, let me go to the home page. So when you go onto the web app, it goes right here. It says to log in or sign up. So you sign up right here. And this web app is basically about, what's it called? Just users can sign up, and it's like you guys can know more about the other users who signed up. So I'll just sign up right now. My phone name, my email, and just put password. Signing up. Oh, that email's already taken. So another email, and when I sign up, it says you're successfully activated. You can log in now. So log in. Okay, 1 second. Let me put. Log in, you get greeted to the platform of users. This is all the users who got logged in, and you can view anyone's profile. So I can view this person's profile. This is gonna be loading. 1 second, let me go back. Like this, and then it tells you about the person, their name, email, age, and their gender. And you can just read about all these people who joined the platform right here on this tab. It's the profile tab, and you can update the profile, update the information you gave at the beginning. So currently I don't have an age or nothing, so I could put like 21, male. I just put like random text in for right now, and then I just put a random URL in right now. The updating profile and says your account is successfully updated. So if I was to search up my name right now, that's the first one, but right here, it says age 21 and male, so it's successfully updated, and that's my web app. And you can sign out, and when you sign out, it says successfully signed out, and that's my web app.
Such a comprehensive site, especially with all of the email validation and sign up. So thank you for sharing. And we've got Storm and then Susanna.
Hi, everyone. So this is my final project. I made a LED controller, and basically I control these LEDs right here with this photoresistor right here. And my logic for this project was I wanted to combine what I learned from IoT with what I learned in my own studies. So once I start the simulation, this symbol stands for low light intensity, and this symbol stands for high light intensity. So as you can see right here, when the intensity on the photoresistor is low, all of these LEDs are on. And then as I slowly slide this to more intensity, these LEDs will slowly start to turn off. And then if I go back and lower the intensity, then they'll all slowly start to turn back on.
These are all really so cool. It just reminds me every time how much more y'all have learned about IoT than what I know. So next up we have Susanna and then Wilson.
So hi everybody. Would you guys let me know if you guys are able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see
it. Okay, so in our IoT class, we were given the option to create any type of design that we wanted, project that we wanted. I decided to create a simulator for families and friends that had been separated due to the unfortunate events that were happening right now. Basically, all it does is you press a button and it will send a message to the other person on the other side that you want to send a message to. And I will actually show you guys. So it says something like, I miss you, and then it will show the other person receiving the message. It works same thing if you do it from the other side to the other Arduino. Something that I want to implement later on will be sound. So you will know and get a notification once the other person has received the message, but that's something that I will actually implement later on. But thank you so much.
Thank you. That was honestly very touching. Next up, we have Wilson, and then last is going to be Lei.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wilson. This is my website on 32 cool fruit found. And it's just like arranged in a page where the information is pretty like simple. So like, for example, if I go on a page, I think the pomelo is pretty interesting. I want to learn more about it. Click this and you have a quick summary of the native location, the taste, and quick summary, random information. And yeah, just 32 of them. And at the top, there's a link. I actually found this at the end of my project, which was kind of unfortunate, but this is a really cool page. There's like probably like hundreds of like fruits, uniquely named fruits that I've never heard of. So I learned a lot from researching like different fruits, and yeah, it was really fun.
Thank you. That is going to constitute my fruit buckets for probably the rest of the year. Last we have
Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Okay, so this is my IoT project or final project. And so what it is, it's a timed pill dispenser for people who take pills and forget them, or it's just a very helpful thing. So I have 5 different dispensers right here, and I use servos to simulate dispensers, and then I used this potentiometer, I think it's what it's called, to simulate a clock. And then this would be the alarm. So I'm going to start the simulation, and once it starts, the servos start going. And then so say it goes to a particular time, different servo turns. And then it goes to another time right here on the potentiometer, another one turns, and then it goes all the way until the other one, all of them turn too. And then once they go on, this alarm is supposed to go on. So once you press this button, the LEDs and the sound goes on too. It's supposed to be annoying because it's an alarm. And I also made a 3D model of it, so it's easier to see. So this is the dispenser part, and then this is where the servos is supposed to go in, and then the servo is supposed to like push the pill through into the hole. And then that's kind of what it's gonna look like at the outside. I'm still working on the name, but that's what it is. And then this is my code for it. And I had some trouble code because at first I created the alarm and the servos in 2 separate circuits. And now I realize that's a mistake because I took 3 hours trying to debug and integrate each different code into another's. And yeah, that is it.
Thank you so much. Like I mentioned earlier, the IoT part of things is a little more opaque to me, but I can definitely relate on spending hours debugging code. So Before I pass it back to Avila, I actually just want to speak a tiny bit about the piece that I can talk on, which is the final web app that everyone was doing. Just for a kind of a brief overview of the assignment, basically what folks were asked to do is to gather data using an API of their choice or using Airtable, and from COVID resources to random songs to succulents, all across the board. And then they used JavaScript to fetch that data and populate their HTML and pages, and then they styled it using CSS and Bootstrap. And so, like I mentioned, I am just really excited to be able to have seen everyone's final web apps and the IoT projects that they've done. And as one last piece, I'm just going to send a link to the Zoom chat for folks to look at, because everyone also did an About Me or resume page web app, or website rather. And so if you want to take a look at that, there is a class directory that I've just put into the Zoom chat. But again, thank you everyone for showcasing your projects. And now I will pass it back to Abdiel.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it was great seeing everyone's project. They were really well made. Anyways, let's go to the next part that we have here on the agenda, which will be the volunteers. And this is going to be done by Lei. So Lei, you can take the spotlight.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to say great job on the projects, everyone. And I know all of your hard work paid off. It really did. I'd like to express my gratitude to our volunteers. Without your help, we would not be able to have the experiences and, well, like the learning experience that we did during this cohort. You're essential to our workplace by donating your time and energy to make a positive difference to us and others. We recognize and we thank you for your high level of commitment to David Rass, Brian Siebold, Dexter Reed, Michael Gonzalez, Yaritza Perez, Jennifer Howell, Martin Encinas, Gail, Angeles, Mariah, and Aria. Oh, that's a lot to memorize. You're not only making our experience more productive and enjoyable, but you're also sending a powerful message to us that as a community, we are all responsible for each other. And as we've heard many, many times during this cohort, and we'll probably hear many, many times after this cohort, pay it forward. And to our sponsors, and on behalf of the students in this cohort, we express our honest and genuine gratitude and appreciation to you for sponsoring our program. Your help is priceless and will definitely help us in our future endeavors. I was more than excited to hear of our cohort selection for this privilege, and I'm profoundly thankful for your help. On behalf of everyone in this cohort at Dev Mission, I would like to express sincere gratitude for your generous donations of time and efforts to our cohort. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
That was a great talk, Lei. I love how you say how you appreciate everyone, because we all do. Yeah, honestly, the whole entire class appreciates what the volunteers do for us. Now let's actually go to the next part of the agenda, which actually is presenting the graduates. It's kind of time already, so I'm gonna leave it to Ivan. Ivan, go for it.
All right, so this is the moment we've been waiting for. You are no longer just students at Dev Mission. Now you are graduates and soon alumni. Well, that sounds exciting. Look at that. Your title changes within 5 seconds. How often can you say that? Okay, so what we want to do is I'm going to announce one student at a time. We're not going to actually physically present the certificates, obviously, because we're in a virtual setting. The students will be receiving their certificate on Monday. Most of them will be picking it up at our headquarters. But what I want to do is just acknowledge each graduate. So I'm going to announce their name, and we're going to spotlight them for a couple of seconds so that everybody their kudos and their ha ha ha, rah, rah, whatever you want to do to acknowledge their great effort throughout this cohort. So let's start with our first graduate, Abdiel. Awesome. And our MC of the night. Thank you, Abdiel. All right. Our next program graduate, Ahmed. Yes, congratulations, Ahmed. All right, our next graduate, Alexandria Brown. Yes, All right, Alexandria. Our next graduate is Chumaria Jika. Chumaria, congratulations, Chumaria. All right, our next graduate, Cynthia Lee. Yes, congratulations, Cynthia. Our next graduate, Alan Zhu. All right, Ellen, thank you. All right, our next graduate, Ferds Duterte. Congratulations, Ferds. Love the background. Our next graduate, Febe Gonzalez. All right, congratulations, Febe. Awesome. And by the way, just so everyone knows, Febe is also going to be helping this summer as our IT technician intern. So congratulations, Febe, as well on that internship position. All right, our next graduate, Gabriel Peña. Yes, yes. You're at the top of the mountain there. Congratulations, Gabriel. All right, our next graduate, Jack Hernandez. Congratulations, Jack. You're out of this world. Congratulations, Jack. Awesome. Our next graduate, Jeremiah Rubalcaba. Yes, congratulations, Jeremiah. Awesome, awesome. All right. Our next graduate, Judy Lee. Judy, yes, congratulations. Hurrah, hurrah. All right. Our next graduate, I don't think she is connected. I think she was kicked off, but we still want to acknowledge her. Kayla Urrutia. All right. Thank you, Kayla. Our next graduate, Kimon Walker. Come on. All the way from New York. We had our one East Coast student. Is come on. Look, right now it's 9:30 for her. She was on every day, late, all the way till 10 o'clock, connected, and she made it to the end. Congratulations, come on. Our next graduate, Mehul Sharma. Yes, congratulations, Mehul. Thank you for your dedication throughout the cohort. Our next graduate, Nia Nicholson. All right, Nia. She's having internet issues as well. She's connected on her phone, but we definitely want to acknowledge her. Thank you, Nia, for all your hard work. Our next graduate, Patrick Avila. Yes, Patrick, congratulations. All right. Our next graduate, Saad Asif. Congratulations, Saad. All right. Having issues, technical issues as well, but congratulations, Saad. Our next graduate, oh, there you go. All right, we got a shout out. Nice. Our next graduate, Storm Randolph. Yes, Storm. All right, awesome. And thanks for toughing it out today as well. So that is our next graduate is Susana Romero. Yes, Susana. Congratulations, Susana, on all your hard work. Our next graduate, Wilson Tan. Wilson, there, congratulations, Wilson. And last but not least, Lay Steele. Nice, you got a big group following you, Lay. I love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our spring cohort 2021. Let's welcome everyone. Let's congratulate everyone. Great job. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Send it back to you, Abdiel.
All right. Well, like Ivan said, congratulations to everyone here. You did a great job. Now let's actually go to the sponsor program, and this is going to be done by Leo. So Leo, go for it.
Thank you, Abdiel. Wow, I've just been watching this wonderful group of graduates, which is the first time ever, more than 20 participants out of our pre-apprenticeship cohort since back in 2017. It's been a great ride to see all of you doing this amazing work. Again, Gabriel mentioned something at the beginning of his speech. and I'm just going to be very clear about it. This is my last cohort teaching and being involved. So for 12 cohorts, I've been heavily involved teaching, I've been heavily involved managing, I've been heavily involved supporting, I've been heavily involved working alongside wonderful team of volunteers and staff. But as you can imagine, Dev Mission is growing. This organization continues to do an amazing work, and we're so resilient as we continue to come out of COVID. As you all know, you all met our Deputy Director, Deborah Jaramillo. She's going to be managing all of our programs within the organization, our pre-apprenticeship program, our STEM Hub, and our Digital Music Lab that I've been running for the past 4 years. My role is changing. Now I'm going to be expanding our organization to chapters, to new horizons across the city, across the Bay Area, across the state, and across the country. And who knows, we're looking forward to start doing a tech exchange program with other Latin American countries. I can tell you, I'm so excited about it. But again, it's been a great journey just to share with all of you as well, all the sponsors that have been supporting this particular program. So Ivan, please share the slide that I put together so at least you can share some of the wonderful, exciting sponsors that continue to support this amazing organization, and primarily the young people that are part of our program. So with that, we want to thank the San Francisco Office of Economic and Workforce Development, which is also funded to TechSF, which allows you to get this program for free, for free. Can you imagine that? All the technology, all the resources, all the support, all the staff, all the curriculum, everything. You don't have to pay a penny. All you have to do is turn the camera on, right? And be engaged and prepare yourself for the next journey in the tech industry. We also want to thank Google, especially the Google hardware engineers that you heard about the IoT class. Google is also one of our sponsors. Workday, they also continue to support our program. Uber also is one of our sponsors for the organization. Waymo is also, again, providing a lot of support. Zuora, today you heard the wonderful words of the Chief Product and Engineering Officer. And guess what? I just got an email to talk about internships with Dev Mission. How cool is that? That is crazy, right? I just got the email 30 minutes ago after he spoke. That is all what it takes in order to continue to build this pipeline. You all can make it happen. So excited. Delta Dental, they created a mock interview session with all of you, but also they have provided some funding. All these organizations and companies are doing an amazing work supporting this organization. The Miranda Lux Foundation, the Mayor's Office of San Francisco, and State Farm. So we want to thank all those sponsors for their support to continue to help these young people receive the stipends, receive computers, receive monitors, receive internships coming up in the next, 3 weeks through OFA. So we're really, really excited. Hopefully you all continue to be engaged. Now, I always love to put someone on the spot. Chase, I know you're here. Oh no, she's like, oh no, Leo. Yep. Well, Chase, can you please at least introduce yourself and just don't share anything yet, but the reason why you're here today. Thank you. Ivan, can you make Chase co-host?
Oh
Awesome.
man, oh crumbles. Thanks so much, Leo. Guys, this has been like the absolute highlight of my week. I've worked in technology for a long time. I work with the Stupski Foundation, which is an organization that is going to be funding Dev Mission. And I just want to say, these are such inspiring products. They're incredible. And I know I sound like a stranger over Zoom, but feel free to hit me up over LinkedIn if you ever want to talk about technology or life or career or anything like that. I'm a huge fan of the program, everything about it. Congratulations again. And thank you, Leo, for inviting me to the graduation. It's been beautiful.
Thank you, Chase. We appreciate it very much. And there you have it. Now send it back to our wonderful MC. Bring it home, Abdiel. Bring it home.
I guess it's ready to bring it home. I just want to say thank you, Leo. It was really good to see you in the cohort and having you there. I know you took the time to be with us. And I guess we have all the students. We're going to say thank you. Thank you very much. Now, let's actually go to the last part of this graduation, sadly. It's going to be the closing remarks, and this is going to be done by Jeremiah. Jeremiah, go ahead, take this spot.
Good evening, and thank you for attending our Spring Dev Mission OST Pre-Apprenticeship Spring 2021 Cohort number 12 graduation. My name is Jeremiah Ugalgava. I'm a 24-year-old, and I'll be graduating soon from San Francisco State University with a degree in computer science. I heard about Dev Mission while attending a Tech SF apprenticeship orientation. Multiple organizations sounded good, but for some reason, Dev Mission caught my eye. With their dazzling blue company colors and the saying, "You belong here." By the way, blue is my favorite color. I saw Dev Mission as an opportunity to get into tech and develop my skills before getting into the industry. But let me tell you, Dev Mission is no walk in the park. This past spring, we spent over 160 hours dedicating our time to developing our tech skills, building projects, and networking. Dev Mission has allowed us to meet with companies like YouTube, Square, Facebook, and Twitter. I don't think there's another organization like Dev Mission. Dev Mission was a great opportunity. I want to thank Leo, Deborah, Zuri, Ivan, and all the Dev Mission teaching staff and our funders. You guys are changing lives and providing so many opportunities for us young people. Thank you to everyone who came to the graduation, and thank you so much. It's my closing remarks.
All right, so there you go. Now we're gonna do the chant. So as you can imagine, for the past 4 years, every cohort, even from the pilot, decided to do this crazy chant. And I will come into the office all the time and work with everyone there. We're so excited to see all of you on Monday. By the way, when you come and pick up your laptops, your monitors, I still have some desks. They're manual. So if you want a desk, hit me up on Slack. So looking forward. So since those times, we've been doing this wonderful chant. So we're going to wrap it up today with that amazing chant. Everybody knows the drill. But for our guests and families, when I say the word dev, you said mission. When I say dev, you said mission. So here we go. Everybody, go ahead and turn those mics on. You know, take a deep breath. There you go. Go on 3, 2, 1. When I say dev, you say what?
Mission.
Dev.
Mission.
Mission. There you have it. Thank you, Ivan. Go ahead and close it up, Ivan.
All right. So yeah, thank you all for this is our graduation. This concludes our ceremony today. Thank you all for coming, attending, and students, we wish you the best, and we'll see you on Monday. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
See ya.
See you all.
Thank you for everything.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations.
Bye.